All right, welcome back to the Spin and Backfist MMA show. It is Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, Big Ev. We are here with Jorge Gamebred Masvidal ahead of his fight with Nate Diaz, the second fight against Nate, first one in the boxing ring. This one's going to be June 1st at the Kia Forum, Fanmio PPV. And, of course, you could get tickets on sale this Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific. How you feeling?
Fucking amazing. Great, brother. A little tired right now and shit.
A lot of media for you, right?
A lot of media, but I was promised like pizza if I came to the interview, and I'm thinking Dave Portnoy's people, they're gonna have so much fucking pizza. So I wouldn't know it wasn't you motherfuckers, but
I feel like your people threw us under the bus.
Yeah, they sure.
He was looking at me specifically where the pizza at.
and they came in my room because I was fucking knocked out sleeping because I've been up since early training. Go, just one time we need you to get up. It's the Barstool interview, and you know they got the hookup for pizza. I said,
they should have told us.
That's what I'm saying.
They would have told us. We would have had it for you.
Don't worry, I'm gonna take it up with it. People getting fired. Don't worry about it.
We would have had the pizza ready to go.
We would have had it ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Dave Portnoy pizza hat right now, too. I feel like I'm rubbing it in your face.
Yeah, a little bit, but don't
You
worry.
had the festival. He had all of them.
From my side, someone will be demoted for sure. And then we have company regulations in place, like low kicks get handed out.
But you're good eating pizza right now. You're not in like a weight cut mode. I'm
so good at eating pizza right now. My weight's good. I don't struggle too much with my weight, and I have a diet that I follow, and I'm well under my weight right now, my targeted weight by my nutritionist and everything. And the weight is 5 pounds higher than I'm used to competing at 175 instead of 170 where I competed in the UFC. So I'm more than good, my brother. I'm ready to have all the motherfucking pizza.
Speaking of Dave, when he came to your spot, any funny stories? He spoke about it. He said like, he had some fun. He was out of his element, he said.
You guys did a barbecue, right?
I was saying it in a good way. He was like, I had fun. I was just like, it wasn't the type of party.
I think he was afraid that someone was going to start roughhousing at any moment.
that could have easily happened.
Yeah.
That could have easily happened. Dave's a cool ass dude, man. I remember wanting to spend like way more time with him, but everybody was like mugging him. Everybody was like on him, and then fucking people were fucking harassing me too because it ended up being way too big. It wasn't, it wasn't at my house, and I'm not the one that like fully organized the thing. So there was like too many fucking people that I wish it just could have been me and Dave chilling, smoking weed and fucking eating food and talking shit, man. But there was like a lot of people. We had a good time, man. We had a good time.
He's a real funny weed smoker. He calls himself the king of the Monster Hits Only Club.
Yeah.
He doesn't smoke very often. Once we were calling a Canelo fight on pay-per-view. His shoulder was killing him before. He's got bad shoulders. And I just joked to him. I said, you should smoke a joint, make you feel better. He's like, do you got one? I said, I do. And he smoked a joint right before Canelo pay-per-view. And he went and called that pay-per-view pretty stoned.
It was against Bivol, right?
It was, yeah. It was the fight where Bivol beat him.
That's the fight. That's the way to do it, bro. You smoke a nice little joint to the face.
He felt great.
That was the last time he ate an edible. He went to the hospital and he ruined his family's Thanksgiving.
Unfortunately, he did, yeah.
He ate a whole bar. And he passed out and hit his head on the table. His parents drove him to the hospital. Yeah. He was fine, though, but he was just high as fuck.
I thought maybe he just ate that and then he started wigging out, but damn, it sounds like he got fucked up.
No, I think it was both.
Yeah.
He was wigging out.
I think with the edibles is some of the craziest high experiences I've had has been with edibles.
It happens to the best of us, So sometimes you take too much and
the edibles will chop you down.
Yeah.
It'll get you slowly but surely just creep up on you. And then you're getting Baker acted, and then, you're waking up somewhere else. You're like, what the fuck happened? Like, only with edibles do I have these crazy fucking experiences. Almost like I'm tripping on acid type shit, But every time I've eaten edibles, I always eat way more than I'm supposed to.
I would say when I was in like high school, we used to call that getting Tyson's.
Oh, yeah. Getting
we call it getting Masvidal.
Yeah.
Gamebred.
That's good. So speaking of weed, edibles, you and Nate are going back and forth a lot on this press tour. You speaking about kind of Nate being a diva. He has a lot of demands. He has a lot of things. I won't fight unless it's this. I won't fight unless it's that. Are you in a spot where after this fight, you're cool to smoke a joint with Nate afterwards, or is there bad blood forming right now?
I'm not going to, from his end, I think it's bad blood. From my end, he's one of the dudes that I actually look up to. I have a lot of respect and admiration for because he did a lot in the sport, and we have very, very similar upbringings and backgrounds. So I got nothing but respect for this dude, but he did, when the fight that took place in this lovely state happened, he said a lot of things that, didn't need to be said, and I was fucking mad about it. Like, you can't call me a coward and you can't call me a quitter. Those are like fighting words, especially that I've never tapped in my fucking life in 50-something pro fights. I've never tapped. Yeah. And you could imagine in all that time, I've been put in many situations to tap. I've never fucking tapped. I've actually chose, I'm going to fight this to the end or go to sleep. And guess what? I've gone to sleep with a badge of honor. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If there was no referee, knowingly, I still want to tap, you know, because it's just the way that I am. It's my DNA makeup, you know. So for this motherfucker to call me a quitter, rub me the wrong way, and that's where I started slinging the heat back. And I get it. You're sore, man, because, you know, another man had to stop in and say, you know what? I got to save your life because Gamebred's going to kill you. He's going to take your life from you. So let me just end it right now before it gets any worse. So I get it. He was bitter, and he said it at the first conference, you know. But as far as me go, yeah, that'd be like the one person I would like to smoke a joint with. Fucking, you know, we're going to make a lot of money. So why not? You know, it doesn't have to be fucking all hatred and stuff. And what I'm saying is all true. It's all stuff that is true that makes me think like, man, maybe you don't want this motherfucking fight as much as you say, because New York was actually a big possibility for us. And he completely shut it down. He's like, nah, if it's in New York, I'm not fighting. All right, I get it. It ain't go your way with the judges, the cuts, you know. But then if the fight was in Miami, I'm not fighting. And then if the fight was in Texas, I'm not fighting. I'm like, damn, dog, you trying to fight or what?
Yeah. There's part of me surprised that you wanted this fight, not only because of all of that he's putting out there, but because, in my opinion, the first fight wasn't like particularly that close.
Yeah, it wasn't, you know. But a lot of the damage I scored was from kicks, you know. And Nate's always been like a great boxer. So when the opportunity came for me to box, and then for the opportunity came for me to box Nate, I was like, okay, I could handle a couple birds in one stone, you know.
And is it just the name is obviously like Masvidal Diaz will sell?
Yeah. No, we're definitely gonna sell, and we're definitely gonna fucking fight when we get in there, you know.
Yeah.
He knows. I don't think he took Jake's ass too seriously, man. From looking at his fatigue, I had his body composition and stuff. I didn't, you know, from athlete to athlete, I didn't think he was in the best shape of his life, you know. And I don't blame him. He's looking at Jake. He's like, I'm fighting some dude that swallows bananas for fucking views and shit.
What do you think of Jake as a boxer?
As a boxer, you know, Jake is a person I like him, man. And I know I'll be very critical of him, but Jake is a person I like him because he changed his whole life around for the boxing. And he's told me this before, like how his life was going. It was out of control, spiraling towards a very wrong way. And the discipline in boxing, the things that you need to do in boxing on a day-to-day, changed his life around, and that's why he stuck to boxing. Now he's doing this thing. As an actual boxer, I've been watching boxing since I'm 7 years old. I don't have very nice things to say about him. You know?
No, that's fair.
When he fought, you know, because when he has these like moments to fight, like, dog, you don't fight. You know, he fought the dude from England. It was like a fucking hug fest. You know, you just hugged the dude and this and that. Now, Nate Diaz fight, I mean, you motherfuckers talking about that fight or anything?
Not really. We watched it.
Yeah, watched it.
He had a chance to really show out there because he could have took advantage of Nate didn't come in shape. Take his ass out of there. And you heard him be mean and take that guy out of there. But he wasn't. So it's just like, I just haven't seen a breakthrough performance of him yet. He's not the best athlete, you know. He's not like gifted speed or power. And he's not necessarily the meanest guy either. So on my boxing thing, I don't have like the greatest things to say about him. And that's why he be getting mad at me, but I'm speaking the truth. But if you're mad, fuck it, bro.
I was going to say, you guys have an interesting relationship at this point where you went and did his podcast. You filmed that video where, you know, there's like a little funny skit.
On my end, it's nothing personal, but on his end, I get it. He gets upset. But if they ask me, what do you think about Masvidal on MMA? He's like, man, motherfucker sucks. He can't do this. He can't do that. He always loses this type of opponent. I'll be like, all right, it's your fucking opinion, you know? It might stink, but it's your opinion.
So he he got mad at first just because you picked Woodley, right? That was where it all stemmed from?
Yeah, that's what it all stemmed from when I picked Woodley. Again, that's my boy. I've known Woodley at the time. 14, 15 years we were training since he was a fucking amateur. You know, we were both at Strike Force together, both from American Top Team. This is my brother, man. Like, I'm not going to pick this goofball over my boy.
He even tried to like leak this fight announcement before it came out. He tweeted you and was like, just go fight Nate and box, whatever. Yeah. Did that piss you off?
I mean, in a little bit, yeah, because you fucking with the money, fucking with the company, the promotion and stuff like that. And he found out because, you know, the small circles in this fight world shit, you know, but nothing to get me like upset. Just say, you're kind of fucking with my money. Don't do that, bro, you know?
Speaking of American Top Team, Renato Moicano has a lot of very nice things to say about you, and then how you're kind of still a massive leader of American Top Team. Is that something that you take a lot of pride in?
So much pride, brother.
Yeah.
So much pride. I've spent so much time on the mat with Moicano, whether it was watching him or fucking training with him. The same thing with Armin.
You guys should have a podcast like only politics stuff.
Oh my
like
God.
just like talk like no fighting. Just talk like culture stuff. You know what I mean?
Definitely got to go in. Hey, Moicano, I want to get in your motherfucking podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Please, let's make this the set it up connection here. Yeah.
Kayla Harrison is what I've known like 7 years since she got to the gym. I've been training with her, seeing her train, seeing her evolve. Bo Nickel. And then we had three guys that went 3-0 at PFL. So in total, we had 7 guys compete on between Friday and Saturday, and we went 7-0. That is like fucking unheard of. This is at the top of the top. This is UFC 300. And we had 4 guys go 4-0. It is crazy, man. And if people lose their mind for some fucking team and all the players are from everywhere else but their fucking city, you can't imagine how it feels for me that I actually know all these motherfuckers and I train with all these motherfuckers and we're all in the same thing with the same goals getting after. So I feel like such a pillar, like one of those legs on that stool. That's how I feel for American Top Team. I've been there from the beginning and I ain't going nowhere, you know. And though my boxing camp is in Vegas, all my teammates, all my coaches know where my heart is at, where I got all my swag, all my fucking rawness is from American Top Team, you know. So I'm American Top Team to the day I fucking die, you know.
Were you surprised Kayla could get down to 135?
I was, because I've like I said, I've been alongside with her a long time and I've seen her fucking just break herself down to get to 145.
Yeah.
It's a very strict, tough regimen just for her to get down to 45. You know, her fucking cheeks are already sunken in at 145. Her teeth look huge because your gums fucking showing up as you're dehydrated. She's like incredibly ripped on her abdomen with like no fucking, and it's hard for girls to get 6 packs. Just the way that they're built, you know, and she'll be fucking ripped. And I'm like, how much you still got to go to get to 145? Holy smokes, you know? And she's such a determined athlete that I'm like, she's never gonna not make the weight because she's just what she does, you know. But when 135 came at first, I was like, holy smokes, this is gonna be a roller coaster.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I called her out like 3 weeks out. I was checking on her, hey, what's up? How you doing? How's the weight going? She was like, fucking, it's going good. I'm gonna make it. It's tough. I'm dieting like never before. It's gonna be a tough weight cut, but I'm gonna get it done. And that gave me all the assurance I needed. Yeah. Thank you. And next call was you'll take 100,000 on Kayla. Let's go.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Why did you choose to do this training camp in Vegas?
I went to numerous boxing camps. Shout out to Freddie Roach. Shout out to Roy Jones Jr., fucking greatest boxer of all time in my fucking era. Annie's from Florida. What's up? You know, I went to all these places and I had fucking great times. You know, just being around Freddie was like amazing, man. He showed me so much. His camp welcomed me. Sorry, guys, I go to sleep late and fucking wake up early. And with Roy Jones, it was the same thing. Man. Like, this dude was just watching me hit the bag for 2 hours, and he took me to spar. It was like fucking a lot of information got given to me over the course of 10 days, you know. So I had a fucking ball with Roy Jones, had a ball with Freddie. And I also, in the process, got to meet Jorge Masvidal, where I ended up settling. We clicked so damn well, and he already had like a very solid game plan laid out for me, kind of showed it to me. And I was like, okay, this is going to work, you know. So fucking packed up everything, left my kids back home, you know, left my whole family, everything. Because at American Top Team, I've always just had to drive like an hour from Miami to Coconut Creek. But this time, my handlers and a couple of things, I was trying to get Capetillo to come to me, but he's like, nah, I can't. I do all the training here. I got all my guys here. So I had to ship out. It's hard, man.
Since January, right?
Since January, I've been there. It's hard, man, because I'm in and out of my kid's life, you know, on a constant. I show up there, you know, I'll go run, I'll pick them up, drop them off at school, I'll work out, I'll get something to eat, I'll come back, pick them up from school again, kick it with them till they go to sleep, then get my little night workout in, and so on. Like, I'm in and out of their life, and it's just fine by me. And I've done everything I've done in my life with that schedule, more or less, you know. So now having them leave him like this full time really fucking bothers me and pisses me off, you know. But the good thing of it, though, is that I get to focus all that fucking rage, all that fucking I want to hurt somebody, and just because I miss my kids a lot, on fucking Nate Diaz's face and abdomen.
Yo, I was bring up the begging for him. Obviously, you're here. Obviously, we got to ask the original BMF Holloway fight. Obviously, crazy knockout. Just tell us your thoughts, watching everything.
Max, not just forget about this fight. You know, whether he had won or lost that fight, Max is one of my all-time favorites since forever, you know. Always have loved this guy. He's fought in Dustin Poirier, and you know, it was like these epic fucking fights as well with DP. And there's no way to get this guy to ever quit. He's so skilled, so dangerous everywhere, great endurance, and just his mind is what sets him apart from everybody else. So I'm just the biggest Max Holloway since ever. You know, any red did leading up to this fight, I was betting the house on Max. You know, and then to deliver that performance, and then to have Gaethje basically skanked out, you know, 4-1 rounds, and then decide to like, yo, let's just roll the dice. I give you a shot. Maybe you get lucky. Come on, come find out. Bam, dead. Dead. Motherfucker, pick him off the can. Dead, bro. And it was fucking crazy because Gaethje had moments in the fight, but he was never in control in the fight. Max didn't have to do that, you know? It's just Max, bro.
Yeah.
It's just...
Even when Max kind of got dropped, he kind of was off balance. I wouldn't even say that was a real knockdown.
And then he, you know, shook the cobweb, started moving around, boom,
it was fine. Yeah,
and got right back to it, started touching him up, you know? And then the first one was kind of close, but then that spinning back kick to the
crazy.
To the bridge of the nose, and then Gaethje was almost out right there. It's just he got lucky that it was so late in that first round, because if it was like 10 seconds earlier, I think he puts him out right there. You know, wrecked his nose, and it was like after that he was just in complete control, bro.
Who's I want to ask you this: who's someone, doesn't even have to be like the max weight class or whoever, who's someone in the UFC who has obviously hasn't fought for the BMF belt yet that you think is worthy of it?
Oh, there's a lot of motherfuckers. Pereira. Yeah, right. Fucking
the fact he wanted to turn around 2 broken toes and fight next month in Brazil, that's kind of BMF material.
Oh man, that motherfucker's a sniper, man. He's got that mindset like I want to separate myself from the pack, and the only way to do it is fucking take you the fuck out. No decisions, no nothing. Just take you out cold, bro. That's the way to go about it, man.
What about Max Holloway? I know you guys haven't had the best history, but this guy he called out, but he said he'd like to defend that title against McGregor next. Obviously, the big money fight.
Max?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got a great history with Max.
No, with McGregor, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I know you and McGregor aren't the best of friends.
No.
Would you want to see that fight, though?
Max and McGregor?
For the BMF title.
Fuck yeah, as long as they got fucking, what's the Irish man's name? A fucking little leprechaun. As long as they got him in the drug testing pool like the rest of us. And like how Max has been doing.
We're saying, what's his name about Conor McGregor?
Yeah. Year and year of us getting drug tested and constantly competing. And this motherfucker obviously don't look natural. Like you see it in the motherfucking movies and on the little shit he puts up.
Did you watch Roadhouse?
I didn't, but I seen like the previews and shit of it. You know,
it's a great movie.
He looks like he's not fucking natural there.
You ever look at a fighter and just think he's on it?
Yeah, okay. Like I've been doing this my whole life.
We do it too, but we don't know as much as you do, of course.
Yeah, I've been doing it my whole life, you know. So I want, especially a guy like Max, that's a gem for the sport, you know. Keep that guy safe by not letting him fight somebody that's been fucking cheating. You know what I'm saying?
What percentage of fighters do you think are cheating nowadays with like
even
what seems like good drug testing?
And now with USADA gone.
Yeah.
USADA's gone, but they have a new regimen in place. I'm finding out every day more and more, but I know the guy that's running as a 2-time FBI director, and he's also the guy that interrogated Saddam Hussein and broke him over like 6 months. So I got to meet this guy personally way before that. You know, it just happens. It's a small world, and I find out he's the one running it. His name is George, and this dude is like a brain, a meticulous brain. He's actually MMA competitor as well. He's competed in like BJJ and all types of stuff. So he understands the sport very well. I think the sport's about to, in that sense, they're going to take it to another level. They're going to be extra cleaned up. USADA was doing a good job too, but me, how I've always felt, right, is you drug test me like 3-4 times a year, there's a lot of gap for shit to happen.
Yeah.
It's better like, don't fucking test nobody or test us like rigorous. You know, and make sure that nobody can take shit, because it's just not fucking fair, man. The way you recover, the way you could take a hit, the way you could give a hit, it changes up everything. And I know because I'd be in the UFC room training with a bunch of UFC guys, and then, you know, if I was training with guys from another promotion or something where they're not getting drug tested, I would feel unreal strength, unreal, you know, recoveries from guys that are like, man, you weren't like that 2-3 weeks ago. Cardio, everything, you know, everything could change, you know. So it's keep the sport clean, or fucking, you know, you can't play favorites either in it, you know, as in the past. There's been like, yo, so-and-so got popped, but they did this for him, they moved that for him. Like, I hate all that shit. Keep it fair for everybody. If guy's a bum or world champion, make it fair for everybody, you know?
going to be on the campaign trail in the
For
fall?
Trump?
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Well, it's you're in New York while the trial's going on right now.
Man. Witch hunt of the century. This is the craziest shit ever, man.
Yeah, they're not letting him go to his son's graduation.
Barron?
Yeah, he can't go to Barron's graduation.
It's all done on purpose, man.
Yeah.
They want to see what he's going to do, if he's going to flex.
What, you think they got anything up their sleeve over the next few months? Or
Absolutely not. They don't have anything. I think this is the biggest interfering election we've ever seen.
Mar-a-Lago, $18 million, they said. You know, real estate in Miami and South Beach and whatnot. That's not 18. Maybe the bathroom's $18 million.
It's crazy, man. They're fucking. Oh, bro, we could really get into this, you know. Just having escaped communism, my dad, it was, and a good majority of my family, it was like a constant topic, like a hot topic, like being 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just like they're talking about it, and I was like, fuck, enough. I don't want to hear it. I get it. You guys escaped the horror movie. I get it. Oh, poor you. Oh, I get it. But as I started to get older, I'm like, holy smokes, man, were these people just dropping out and just having their conversations. The way a place like Cuba that was so fucking productive that per capita had fucking great numbers, like great fucking numbers. At one point, their money was worth more than the fucking American dollar, you know? So how did such a civilized place become like that? Look at Venezuela. And be one of the richest countries in the fucking world with all the oil they have over there. They have this little experiment called socialism.
I like to call it experiment too. That actually may be giving it too much credit.
Yeah, it's not an experiment. They know what the outcome is. It's only few people are going to thrive. Everybody else is going to live in misery. And that's what communism and socialism is. It's just fucking misery for the masses, you know? So I don't get it. You know, like one thing I always say is no offense to Trump or nothing, but he couldn't afford me. Like people think that I'd be going on shows talking about him because I'm getting paid or somebody from his thing. No offense, couldn't afford me.
Got it.
Because I got my own money. I made my own money with these bad boys right here. And anybody that I speak up for is because I truly believe this motherfucker can save us. He's the one fighting against communism and socialism, and he knows what it looks like, and he's taking that on head on. Then another thing, what's going on with the fucking election ballots? You know what? All these motherfuckers are just cross the border. They can vote, so they're just like me now. All the years I paid fucking taxes, now they just come on illegally over. I'm gonna vote because it's crazy. There's already like I don't know how many hundreds of registered voting motherfuckers that don't have ID. They already started putting the harvest
in specific states too.
In specific states that are
that
like,
they know that's kind of.
So I just feel like my country's letting me down. Like I don't care.
Are you still prideful to be an American?
Always, man. Super prideful. But I don't care if it's Trump or Biden. Like I want the fairest election possible. I don't want no one to be able to cheat ever in the elections, you know?
Like UFC.
It just
you don't want no cheaters.
No fucking cheaters. Get out, man. You know, and if you can cheat, then everybody can cheat. If Biden can cheat, then fuck it. Everybody can cheat because that's it just doesn't make sense. But obviously the election's much more sensitive. I want no cheating whatsoever, you know, and I want a fair election. I want fucking Americans voting for what Americans think is the best outcome for us all. You know, I mean, we could talk about Joe Biden's fuckery for fucking out. We need 2 90-minute tapes just to fucking go over this guy's fuck ton shit that he's done, you know, from the first day of office when he fucking let all the terrorists over there have fucking $80 billion worth of our tax-paying dollars and shit to all the fuckery that he's doing now, bro. You know, he's having fucking Chinese balloons dropping anthrax on us and all types of shit. And it took him like 6 days to get that down. Motherfucker got people I could have called up, got that shit down faster than him, bro.
You want to be a politician? Get in?
No, okay. I don't want to be a politician, but I do want to scrounge the earth high and low for the fucking guys that are legit fucking good people that want to fucking do God's work through the politics and keep it fucking clean, man. And good patriots, man. Just fucking good patriots that love this country.
You have a good patriot here. He's running in
we got a guy
House.
actually running for Congress here.
Remember George
Senate?
Santos?
What's he running for?
Santos, no.
He was the guy.
He's a crazy guy who lied about everything. Like lied about everything.
He lied about everything. He said he went to Yale. He never went to Yale. He said he was like worked at Goldman Sachs. Never worked at Goldman Sachs. He got essentially voted out of the House, and his seat's open. We have a guy who's very politically motivated, good patriot, who is running right now in New York District 3.
We call him Billy
Long
Football.
Island.
Really football?
Bill Cotter.
We'll send you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Cotter.
Send me some info.
Yeah, we'll send some info.
Today he's going against the corruption in politics. They're
Yeah.
trying to get everyone else off the ballot. He's 25, new young guy. They're trying to force everybody out and keep the guys that are in there already, trying to basically keep them out. So their signatures are fraudulent, all this kind of stuff. He's fighting the good fight. He's fighting against it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For the corruption.
I like this guy
He's fighting
already,
against the
man.
corruption.
You would like him, yeah.
For
Fighting
sure.
against the system.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
And I think, I love the state of New York, but man, it's fucked up what they're doing now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not been great.
Busloads of immigrants, and it's wild, man. You just don't know where you can get in those immigrant buses. You might think they're from South America, but they come from like a complete other part of the world where their objection is death to America. And they're just running all over the streets here. You guys can't you can't have a gun here to save your fucking life. I mean, to get a gun.
If you want to go to jail in New York, the only way you can go to jail in New York is if you have a gun. Because you beat somebody up, you'll be out the next within 3 hours. You have a gun
to protect legally. You can't.
Not legally. You can't. No.
What the fuck is that about? So now you got to rely on the police officers that don't exist no more, and that they themselves are handcuffed.
Yeah.
They show up to the thing. I used to come here and you see the cops walking around. Now I see the cops are like tucked in a corner, their hands are in their pocket, like they really feel castrated. I feel like anything they do here, fucking police violence, and that's not the way a state should be, my brother. That you can't have chaos like that. Somebody's got to be in charge,
especially a city.
Yeah, especially
Gotham City.
Gotham City.
Bringing it back to the Nate fight, I am curious. You fought him years ago at this point. Do you feel like he's a different fighter in the sense, like, are you watching the film of him against Jake to prepare for this fight? Or are you like, nah, I knew what I was dealing with last time. I know what I'm dealing with this time.
Definitely watching the film. My coaches break it down as well. They watch it. Nate, in MMA, he never like really evolved as far as like he's a good boxer, great on the ground with his jiu-jitsu and stuff. But he didn't want to add much more than that to it. He's like, I'm not taking nobody down. If they try to take me down, he's 209, I'll submit.
Pretty good impression.
Never wanted to like wrestle nobody. Never wanted a kick. Never wanted a knee and elbow. So I took notes of that, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna chop your ass up because I kind of know how to kick and I kind of know how to knee.
The kick you hit him with in that fight.
Yeah.
He's ducking
just like
down.
ducked into it. Yeah.
Foot to the face. Here you go. What does that taste like? And then after that, I dropped him with a body kick as well. So a lot of the damage that got done was from the kicks, and that's because I took my notes. Like, you don't know how to defend them? Good, because I know how to throw them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep throwing them at your ass, until I break you. And in boxing, it's the same thing. I see a lot of things where he's still kind of the same guy, and that I could take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
At least as he says he has the best hands in the UFC. That's another reason why I wanted to fight him. I disagree. I think I got the best hands in the UFC.
So you spoke about the being allowed to do the boxing, a 3-fight thing, and coming back to the UFC. So that conversation was basically you asked for it. You said you'd come back if you did it, and they said yes. That was. Yeah. So who do you have in mind that you would want to fight back in the UFC?
I don't even know what the landscape will look like because I don't really care. There's nobody that I got in my mind that I'm like, oh, I'm dead set on fighting this dude. It's just I'll see who's around, who's available. Because there's still 3 boxing fights for me. That could be, a year. And a year in MMA could be a lifetime. Mm-hmm. It could be a motherfucker is no longer with the UFC. They dropped his ass. I mean, look at this guy, Gaethje. Is he ever going to come back the same? I don't think so. After taking an ass whooping like that, in a fight like that, had the knockout not happen, it's already like kind of questionable because he took a lot of fucking abuse in that fight. But then after getting face planted like that, your neck almost broke. That's a bad fall, man. He might not come back the same, So for me to call a guy out right now, it's like, it's going to be too premature. But there's some motherfuckers out there I got in the back of my mind that I'm like, if you're around, I'm going to fucking snap your jaw.
If he's still around, would that interest you at all? Is that Gaethje?
Man, I don't want to beat a horse after they're dead, literally, Or no, it's kick a man when they're down.
Yep. Yeah, beat a dead horse.
Beat a dead horse, That motherfucker's like a horse that's been incinerated, I don't even know if he's going to be around,
Maybe Leon?
Oh, definitely. I'd love to fight fucking Leon. We got unfinished business. There's a lot of guys that would make sense, but like I said, it'd be the landscape, Yeah. Because if Leon's holding the belt, I don't think the UFC is going to just jump into a title fight. They're going to have me go beat up some contenders, which I'm not against,
Do you regret retiring when you did?
Part of me, yeah, part of me, no, man. At the same time, it was like that's where I started at, and it just felt like
Felt like the right
I
moment.
wasn't planning on retiring going into the fight 100%. You know, maybe like 1%. No, not necessarily 99%. 1% was maybe like if it doesn't absolutely go my way, you know, and just a lot of things that happened in the fight, and then leading up to the fight, and then in my training camp, I was like, shit, man. Between injuries and stuff like that, I was like, maybe it's time to hang it up, you know. I hung him up, and then like I didn't do shit for like, I don't know, 45, 50 days. I didn't do a fucking thing. I didn't do shit, man. Just fucking all the opposite shit that I had been doing my whole life. I fell into like a deep depression. Shit got a little crazier. My pops got locked up again, you know, for like some serious ass charges and shit. And then that's when I hit like rock bottom. And on that day that he got locked up, I went and put my running shoes on and I ran in like 2 hours. I just fucking put my shoes on and just went that way. You know, and when I came back, I just felt so fucking good. Like I didn't take any drugs or nothing. I was feeling great. And I was like, man, I'm gonna work out every day of my fucking life, whether I have a fight or not. It's just me. Like I can't do that, you know. You know, and I figured out a lot of problems that were going on at the same time, just while I was running, just how I did as a kid. You know, I just space out and start running, and then like the answers just come to you. So during that, I start working out every day at that moment. You know, at least once a day, I'm hitting the gym and I'm hitting it hard. And right around doing that, I get a call like, "Would you be interested in boxing?" I said, "Nah, I'd be interested in boxing and getting paid, you know, like talk to me straight up. What's the play here? Because I did combat sports for 20 years, you know, and I got this business that's thriving, that's doing really well, which is GFC, you know,
Yep.
The bare knuckle league. And it's the only bare knuckle MMA league. And we just crowned our first heavyweight champion. So at the time we had it, but I'm just like, man, I'm really doing this. I'm really focused on this. I don't fucking need to do anything else, but let me hear it out. And then I hear the deal and I hear more than the money, the potential matchups that they had for me, right? So I'm like, between me and you, I ain't getting out of retirement to fight influencers. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight some of them.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going to motivate me to get out of bed and run, you know? And then a nice check, yeah, that motivates me, but I don't fight for the money. I'm set already. I'm good for life. So let me see these names that y'all talking about. I seen the names. I go, oh, shit, there's something I will fight for because these motherfuckers here, they mean something to me. Let's go. Let's fucking run it, you know? And it took a while. It took like about a year to get this deal done.
Was that because of the names or was that because of like it getting approved with the UFC?
Getting approved with the UFC, getting permission from the UFC, that took like 4 or 5 months.
Did you think that was going to happen? Like when they presented it to you? Because that seems to me like, oh, what? Like, why would the UFC let one of their former big draws go and do this?
Exactly. You know, and then when I'm active, I mean, it's Conor, it's John Jones, and it's me, you know, and John Jones just got hurt. Conor, who the fuck knows if he's ever going to fight?
He said he'll fight 8 times next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real quote. He did say that.
I believe him.
I believe he'll do 8 lines next year. Man, that dude's just, I don't know what to say about that guy. He's a fucking fool, bro.
Yeah. I would like to you and him step in the cage. I would love to see that.
You could
love
potentially
to
be fight 7 or 8.
That you want to talk about money, pay-per-view buys?
Yeah, there we go. That's a milli right there.
That's something that the UFC never really bit down too hard on because Conor shut it down every fucking time. I mean, Dana said it like Masvidal's just a bigger guy, you know, and he didn't go too much into detail of it, but they know I'll work that dude. And then what their brand, they want to build that guy up, you know, so he can sell pay-per-views. And I'm going to beat him the worst of the ways, stand up. I'm going to take all his fucking air from his fucking ship, his sail, whatever the fuck, and just snipe his ass, you know. And it's bad for his brand because he's not going to be able to say, oh, you took me down, he fucking held me, and he fucking choked me. Nah, I'm going to fucking break your jaw, bro. And that's not going to be good for his brand. And he's a little dude, you know, so he's a little dude that's fucking on the juice, man. Even worse now.
Allegedly, yeah. I don't want to get sued, you know.
We had a big Conor guy.
Big Conor guy.
Big guy. He's good. In his prime, he was a shit. He was a great fighter. But the last, like, I don't know how many years. I mean,
we could use a couple more wins.
Yeah, definitely some wins. Or just not even the wins. Just get in the fucking cage and fight, bro. Stop with all this fucking talking and shit. 8 fights this year. What the fuck are you, bro? No one's ever done 8 fights. In
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just another wall for him to break down, right?
Try to map it out with the months.
Yeah, I was trying to map it out, trying to think like, how would you even figure out 8 fights in a year? Yeah,
That's like the only guy doing that was like Tyson when he first started.
Yeah, and he was
boxers
Since he was knocking guys out in
15
a minute.
seconds every fight. Yeah.
fighting like 8
Maybe
times a year in
Habib back in the
NXT.
day. Habib may have had a little deal back in the day. 8 fights in a weekend.
Maybe in Russia, yeah.
All with the same name.
Are you excited to be on this card with like you got Anthony Pettis, you've got Ryan Garcia's brother on the card. It's not just
Vargas
the main event
as well.
Yeah,
we got the Vargas as well on the card. We got a big co-main event about to be announced as well. I think it'll be sometime this week.
Ooh.
Definitely, man. A lot of good competitors. Pettis is a guy I've always looked up to, man. He's another.
and he crossed over and he's had success in boxing recently.
Yeah, took on Roy Jones Jr., which actually I promote Game Bread Boxing. We threw that one. You know, Pettis is a WC champion, UFC champion. Has beaten guys that he probably never should have beat because he was fighting guys at like 170. I mean, Pettis is a clutch motherfucker, you know.
He's a true legend of the sport.
And he's been training his ass off for a minute.
First fighter in the Wheaties box, right? First UFC fighter in the Wheaties box.
He's actually out there in Vegas training. We're at the same Jorge Masvidal's gym, and we go to the same strength and conditioning program. So I bump into him a lot, and he's been getting after it for a minute already. So I'm expecting him to show up in supreme shape and ready to rock and roll as he always does. You know, I think this is going to be a good one for him, stylistically as well.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the like narrative after UFC 300 this past weekend was like boxing promoters, take note. This is the kind of cards that fight fans want. You know, not just one main event and a bunch of fights that with people we've never heard of. And it feels like that's what this is. You've got a bunch of great fights,
and it's only going to keep getting like better and better. Just want to stack it up that you want to see the guy that's on the prelims. You want to see the guy that's opening the main card because it's fighting, man. We want to be able to give people that fucking leisure. You had like 3 hours of fucking forgetting all your worries of the day, of the week, and just fucking focus on that. Like UFC 300 did for me. I mean, fuck, from the moment I got there till I left, it's like a time warp that I don't even know how much time passes. What the fuck?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, the same with us.
Was it crazy being on that fighter row with like, there's so many legends. I assume you saw a bunch of people you haven't seen in forever.
One of the greatest of all time was right in front of me. I was talking to him all night. BJ fucking Penn. I love that dude.
Yeah.
You know? BJ's the fucking man. Duplessis was a couple rows in front of the 85. I love this guy. I love the changes from his first fight to now. Guy's a fucking hell of a competitor, great athlete. So it was a good fucking time. You know, I saw Mark Coleman walk by.
Legend.
Shake his hand. Hug him up, you know, been watching that guy since I was like 12 years old, fucking smash people's faces in. So it was fucking an amazing night. And then the fights were just
they delivered. I said to these guys, I was there when you knocked out Askren. I was right there on press row. And up until this Saturday, I had nothing I could ever compare it to that. Because that was like the craziest moment I ever experienced. You knock out Askren, nobody knew what was happening. Like it was crazy. Then when Holloway did it to Gaethje, I was like, okay, I have something to compare that moment to because both fights, Dana said it in the post-fight presser, they took the wind out of the building for the rest of the card. Mm-hmm. It was like even that the night you knocked out Askren was Jones and Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos was taking the fight to Jones on 2 like torn ACLs, and the crowd just wasn't like fully invested in it because it was like, well, we're not going to see something crazier than we saw in that fight. It was crazy to like get that. You got it from the crowd now this time, so you obviously got to experience the wild range of emotions from the cage, but now, you get to watch it as a fan.
And the wide range of BMFs. One BMF has the fastest knockout ever, and one BMF has
last second
4:59 in the fifth.
ever. It was like,
yeah. You couldn't even hear the horn. I don't even know if they did it. Like
watching on TV, you couldn't hear John Anik try to give the call. It was so deafening.
Yeah, it was so.
My voice is literally like this from screaming from that knockout.
Yeah.
I don't mean we had Holloway 29-1 round 5.
That has to count.
Jumped down my seat. I was screaming so loud I can't even talk 3 days later.
How it was nuts, especially the fight. The whole time it's been a great fight.
Yeah.
Been a fucking very good fight leading up to that point. It just shows Max what a gambler he is.
Yeah, he's
like a fighter, a fucking everything. Like, you know what, bro? I'll give you 10 seconds. Yeah, maybe you get lucky. Come on, let's go.
He does it every time too. He did against Arnold Allen. Yeah, he
dropped Allen too. When he gets in that pocket, he's the last guy you want to trade with. Like I
loved your quote on Helwani. You said if Max points to the ground, you become a sprinter. You turn around and you run away.
I'll see you later, Mac.
I'm saying he just thrives in that chaos, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it seems like other guys, they're swinging wild and he just stays composed in there. Because he ripped the before the knockout, he ripped body and then went up top.
Yeah.
Boom,
He was ripping the body all fight too.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
he
body
was.
were crazy. Before we get you out of here,
And he took some good shots too, and just
Yeah.
him like nothing.
He got that chin, man. He got
His
that
chin is
iron chin.
unbelievable.
His fight with Ilya is gonna be one of the most.
Oof.
That's gonna be a
Yeah.
good fight. And I've been talking about Ilya forever, telling everybody he'd be a world champion, and boom, he did it against a fight that I didn't think was too favorable for him against Volkanovski, which I think is one of the greatest ever to compete as well.
Even seeing how Max has progressed since he fought Volk, it only pushes Volk more
lost to
up
Volk
in
3
that.
times. People started acting like he's like past his prime.
And people talk about Max about the power. I mean, look at his last 2 fights. I mean, walk-off knockout Zombie and walk-off knockout Hagachi.
Yeah, the Zombie one was crazy.
Also, I want to say he looked. I mean, so I want to ask you about this too. Before, I mean, he looked with Dustin 155. I feel like he looked way different this time. 155 Max. Yeah. He looked like big this time for real.
Also, he's gotten older now. You know, I'm sure they're gonna end up. I know Dustin has 2 wins on him right now, but I think they'll end up fighting in the future at some point. You know.
I'd like to see it again at this point. Now that, like you said, Max looks like he fits at 155.
That's why I was almost thrown off. Listen, I would obviously love to see him in Taporia. He looks so big. I mean, you knock out number 2 like that. I was saying almost Islam.
Yeah.
Obviously, that fight just got booked with Dustin. But I'm saying in the
that
future,
would be
Dustin's gonna bring it home for us, man. It's a tough fight for him stylistically, but I just feel Dustin's in a very good place right now. He's gonna do good, man. And he went 4 rounds with Habib, man. He gave Habib a lot of trouble to get to that, man. I think he could beat Islam, bro. You know, it's a tough fight for him. I think Vegas, everybody's gonna have Islam is the favorite by a lot. But man, I'm just the biggest DP fan, bro. He just finds a way to get it done. I've made so much money that second Conor fight. I love this guy, bro. He's another guy that's clutch. He could just find a way to win. I think just find a way to win against Islam, bro, and just hurt him and keep hurting him, getting him out of there, man. And another American top team guy.
Have you trained? One last question about American top team. Have you trained with Johnny Eblen at all?
Of course, bro. His whole career since the amateur to now.
Yeah, he talks about you with a lot of respect.
We like Eblen.
We love Eblen. A bunch,
I think he's like. I would love to see him against, obviously a Strickland. Even him against DDP would be crazy. His fight against Impa was one of the best fights of the year. That was, and Impa's like, talk about a guy that obviously, he was on
changed so much.
Yeah,
I didn't give Impa that much credit going into the fight, and then I was, holy smokes, the improvements this guy has made in such a small time, bro. It's fucking nuts. I really think that Johnny, though, his style, at 185 years to come over right now would be a fucking nightmare.
It's
everybody, especially in 5 rounds. Now, 5 rounds, it would have been 2 more rounds added to that Impa fight. It's going to end in stoppage, in my opinion, because it was already, you starting to see Impa's gas already.
And he's a guy, Johnny, just, he'll get hurt, but he finds that extra gas tank that most fighters don't have. Even the fight against Fabian, the cut, and he was like, I got to go right now. And then, you saw the hands.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he has natural power. That's one reason why I like Johnny, and I chose him since he first got to the gym amateur and we were working out. And he had a natural brawling thing with him in practice where he wanted, like, you hit him. He wasn't necessarily trying to take you down right away. He was trying to fucking punch you, you know? And I kept seeing that improve. And I started telling everybody, this guy's going to go far. This guy's going to be a world champion. And then boom, a couple fights later, he gets that Bellator title. I'm just hoping they do the right thing over at PFL and UFC, because they don't even have an 85 at PFL. He's beating
it's a
everybody.
Weird spot for him.
Yeah, he's beating everybody at Bellator. Just do the right thing. Let the fucking guy go. Let him go chase his dreams. Let him go to the UFC and fight these fucking animals, man. And I know he matches up really well with all these guys. I could see him being a UFC champion, man. I've been saying it for a long time, and I still stick with it. He's one of the best guys we got at American Top Team. And I'm telling you, we have everybody.
Yeah, you guys got everybody.
Yeah.
We have everybody. And I'll never get into like detail who with what, but I've seen Johnny go with everybody that's on the fucking mat when it's MMA and have his way with them, man.
He's told us too.
It felt like the best kept secret at ATT for a while, but now it's not that point. Like people know Johnny's not one to mess with.
I still wouldn't say people know him, you know. It's going to take him to come over to UFC for people to really fucking know him. Yeah. That's what he needs. He needs to come over to UFC and just flatline a couple motherfuckers, you know, and You know, he's got a great suplex too. You know,
Yep.
That's what I love his wrestling styles. And when he's wrestling, he takes a guy down. He's trying to end it. He's trying to fucking punch their face and he's trying to elbow it in. And that I like when now you're using your 17 years of experience to fucking get in stall positions and not throw a fight, and not throw a punch. Another guy can't throw a punch. You just fucking crotch sniffing, you know? But when you're using that wrestling, like a Habib or something like that, you're trying to either submit or fucking make them quit due to strikes. I love it, bro. I'm fucking, you know, like Matt Hughes and them used to do. Fucking love it, man. And Johnny could really bring that style to the UFC.
We're cheering for him.
Definitely. Before we get you out of here, my last question for you. We talked about the Askren win, the first Diaz win. What was the most satisfying win of your career for you personally?
Probably this case that I just won against this little bitch.
I like that answer.
Yeah, because at first the reports were that I fucking jumped him, that I sucker punched him. Obviously, none of that is true because then I would have got hit with some charges. I would have done more time. I would have done something, you know. It was none of that. It was too fucking. When they looked at the fucking tapes, when they looked at the evidence, they go, bro, it's one fucking pro fighter against another one, and one of these pro fighters just said that if I see you in the streets of Miami, his hometown, you'll kill him. But just so happens I was on my way to get some acai and I saw you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's up?
Total coincidence, yeah.
Total fucking coincidence, you know. And this little bitch called the cops on me, dog. And then I had to go to court. I got in jail. Everybody was tarnishing my name, saying that I rolled up with a bunch of dudes and jumped them. If I would have hit him with another individual, I would have fucking done some time. I would have been in trouble because that's different, you know. I fucking fight you one-on-one and you're a pro fighter and I'm a pro fighter. What's the big fucking deal, bro? Ain't that what we do for a living, motherfucker? After you just say you was going to kill me? So that's a pretty good one that I beat that case, you know? I
like that answer. Two pro fighters fight, even if in the streets. Don't call the cops. Call Herb Dean. And
somebody
let Herb Dean be the last referee.
Sorry. Don't call her. Who's
Herb,
the first one you call?
Level, I love you, Herb, but on a professional level, fuck no.
Who's the first one you call? Herzog? You get Herzog in there?
Herzog, I mean, he let Young get choked to sleep.
Streets, there's only one motherfucker I'm calling. Steve Mazzagatti, bro. That's it, bro.
All right. Jorge Masvidal, he will be fighting Nate Diaz June 1st, the Kia Forum. Tickets on sale this Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Look out for it.